Alright, I'm hyped up on caffeine and I want to rant. So this rant might be completely like fucking all over the place. But just deal with it because I can't be asked to write a script basically. So I've leveled this sort of idea to like friends of mine before, where there's this concept called the disposable friend. Now, for the most part, this doesn't affect everybody. Of course, a lot of people are going to have their close group of friends who they associate with. For the most part, there are some people who are genuinely just lonely and they don't know anybody. And to be honest, it's like I'm kind of in that position. After my friend died, I sort of lost my friendship group, so I don't physically know anyone besides family. And yeah, shit does get lonely sometimes, even despite the fact that I am far more introverted than most. I tend to appreciate my own company, but it's a complete myth that like introverts completely don't want any sort of social interaction. We're still human. However, of course, there are the very rare examples of introverts who can literally just go without human interaction entirely, and I wouldn't say I'm at that point. I think there is a certain degree of human interaction I need before going insane, just to keep my autism level in check. Because this kind of triggered like two things. One, which a friend of mine brought up, the disposable friends theory, which I theorized like years ago, and Destiny saying that autism can get worse. Because now I'm not saying that he said that as a definitive statement. He was more of like a kind of question, like a quest statement or questioning statement, where he was just like, um, is that possible? And to be honest, I feel like he's onto something because personally, I felt my autism getting worse, and I think it's because of my situation where I feel isolated and I feel like I can't really speak to anyone. Like, even right now, I've had plenty of days where I can't even talk to people online because I have like this just feeling inside of me where it's just like, oh, for fuck's sake, just go away, go away, go away, go away. Where I'm just so irritable and so just on edge all the time, and I hate it. I think it's some sort of chemical imbalance. Maybe it's depression, maybe something like that. I'm gonna check with my medical doctor and that sort of thing. But don't worry about me. This isn't the point of the video. The point of the video is that I feel that not only did COVID fuck up a lot of people's ability to socialize, but I also feel that the internet kind of did that as well, because we live in this era of disposable friends. If someone bothers you even slightly, maybe they burp into the microphone, maybe they chew with their mouth chew into the microphone, maybe they have annoying ass kids in the background that basically constantly screech all the time, maybe they can't calibrate their microphone properly, so you hear breathing sounds all the time. I know I'm guilty of that sometimes. All of these little things. People will just make an excuse and then just ghost. And I think ghosting is just far, far, far too easy to do now, because at the end of the day, if someone bothers you even slightly, you can just bugger off. Now, in theory, there's nothing wrong with that. You should absolutely choose the people who who you want to associate with. You don't want to be associating with people who you think are annoying as hell or complete assholes. But in a way, I find it kind of sad, because in the past we were forced to socialize with these people that have these annoying nuances, and I think it's kind of created this culture of people where they're just like, well, this guy's just a little, it requires a little bit more patience than I'm willing to give, so you know what, they're not worth my time. And I think this is a feeling that I've had to people towards me because of my autism, and it's sad because it just ends up with people just feeling kind of misfit and misbegotten, and just sort of ends up maybe even radicalizing them in certain degrees, because they feel like they don't fit into society in any sort of way. And in fact, that's a feeling I'm very, very familiar with. So it kind of hurts socialization across the board. The people who kind of feel like misfits don't get to socialize properly, even to the point where they can fake just being fake integration in a certain sense. Now, a lot of people may argue it's like, well, maybe integration isn't the point, but in a way, if we live in a society, you do have to integrate to a certain degree, even if it's just phony, like like a customer service rep pretending to care about your problem when all they're thinking about is going home, cracking open a cold one, and just complaining to their other half, basically saying like, oh, the fucking customer I had to deal with today with their stupid problems. That's usually the case, but I feel that people can't even fake it anymore, or at least from anecdotal experience. Now, the issue is that can I back any of this up with data? No. However, if you are watching this video, and I might do some research into this myself, if you could show me some data that maybe correlates with my position or even goes against it, because I'd be happy to be proven wrong, but I feel I'm not. I feel like there is this sort of culture where just people are just more than willing to discard people if they come across like even the most insignificant of annoyances, when in the past we would have learned to tolerate them, or we would have just helped socialize them to be better and say like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that because it's annoying and we don't like it. And then they'll be like, they'll feel a bit ashamed and be like, oh, I'm sorry, and get embarrassed. But eventually, like, they'll learn and they'll get better, and then everyone improves. Everyone gets better. Everyone is able to sort of integrate better. Everyone's able to find their friendship grows better, that sort of thing. And I think it's just kind of a sad state of affairs when we're unable to do that anymore. Not to the same degree as we have in the past, at least. So I want to know your thoughts. I know this was kind of a chaotic rant. I was very hyperactive, like I said, just taking a shitload of caffeine before this. But anyway, I appreciate it. I am more than happy to elaborate this topic, maybe when I'm not so hyper, and who knows. Anyway, peace, guys. Have a good day.